Fly sequence now.
Morning, folks.
It's a real thing.
The Edge Morning Show.
We're now in the approach phase. Everything looking good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Welcome to the Edge Morning Show.
With Chris Knight, Eric Johnson, Fox 2's Faust, and Tabitha Hassell.
The Edge starts now.
Good morning. I have an exciting announcement.
Fall is my absolute favorite season.
And by season, I mean fall or summer or whatever this is.
You tell them summer's over?
Summer's over.
Summer's over.
Oh my God.
Do you know what today is?
It is the autumnal equinox. Speak English?
Fall is officially here.
It's the first day of fall.
Do bundle up.
Because it's showtime.
It is showtime. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday. Yep, there you are. I think I told you yesterday what was going on, right, Brendan? Didn't I tell you you'd be back?
You did. You called it.
I said, I'll see you tomorrow, Brendan. And Brendan, I'll see you tomorrow on Thursday.
What? Do you have the lottery numbers for tomorrow?
Man. The lottery numbers. I will go get a ticket.
All right. Well, you were perfect. I should go to the casino tonight with you.
Okay. Well,
because you knew.
Well, I didn't say I was going to casino, but I will get a lottery ticket. It's good to see you, though. It's always good to see you. Besides, Chris kind of bounces in and out. We never know where he is or when he's coming back.
Right.
You stay
He's
put.
the breeze.
You stay put, and we kind of know what's going to happen. Chris, oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. I'm sorry. Tabitha, are you feeling all right?
I'm having allergies
I
today.
know, it sucks. I've got them too, and I'm sorry. You've got an allergy look, and I get it, and it sucks.
Do.
Oh, I
woke
hate
up
it.
Sneezing, blowing my nose. But that happens to me
What are you
every
allergic
year.
to? Lots of people have allergies, especially in Missouri.
I don't know. I've been allergy tested, and they say nothing, but they're liars. Because I know I have allergies every single fall. Is part of the reason why I hate fall. I have the most miserable allergies every single year, without fail.
And
I think it has something to do with the leaves turning color and falling, because usually between September, October, and the beginning of November, I'm miserable. So I took some allergy medication this morning.
You can't be as miserable as our president, Joe Biden, that's for sure. And I say that because, oh my God, after speaking yesterday to the UN, he was sitting there with the British Prime Minister who was taking questions. And Biden refused. I'm sorry. Drew, anybody. I'm not taking a side. If you do support the president, please explain yourself. This has reached a monumental level of incompetency when it comes to answering legitimate questions. My God. It gets, just when I think it can't get any worse, it gets worse.
Because if he can't rehearse.
As a media member, it blows my mind. He just sits, I'm not allowed to take questions. Come
that
on.
just means he hasn't rehearsed it. He doesn't have the list in front of him of who he can take questions from, and they don't know what the questions are, so they haven't formulated the answers yet, so they're not going to let him do it.
No, I need somebody to explain this, please. Somebody. Everybody is welcome on this show. Opinions are always everybody is welcome. We try to treat everybody with respect. We want everybody's voice heard. That's what this show has always been about. So it's called The Edge. This isn't your normal boring radio. Hey, AM radio. Blah, 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 blah. No, we get things done. We talk about legitimate things. We bring fact. We separate it from fiction, and we take your call. 636-695-2915. 636-695-2915. We want you to be a part of the show, being respectful. 100.7 The Viper. You can join us on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. Share the show. We're on YouTube as well, The Morning Edge. And, of course, as always, ViperRocks.com. It still blows my mind how many, hundreds of thousands of people listen over the months on ViperRocks.com on our app. Blows my mind. We appreciate it. Thanks again. All right, Eric will be here shortly. Brendan is in for Chris. Chris is still getting the Cobb factory together. Did he say it was the 3D room, Brendan?
Yes, he's working on the 3D room.
The 3D room.
Is that new?
Yes, it's new, but he did say, oh, man, you got to check this out.
He sounded exhausted when he called me last night after Fox 2 News at 9 and said he wasn't going to be in, that you'd be in. And I'm like, okay.
Aw,
I was like, I said, I'll see you Friday.
He's working hard. He's probably
Let
working
Brendan-
around the clock.
Let Brendan know. Well, yeah, it's a business. He does well with that business. And that's capitalism. You work your butt off for an opportunity to do well. So
That's right.
there he is. I'm just, America's back. And then he doesn't answer any questions. I mean,
but that you act surprised, and I don't know why.
No,
Because he's
but here's why.
incompetent.
You're-
Completely
great
incompetent.
point.
How can he answer questions? He doesn't even know probably even what day it is, or what room he's in, or what's going on in the country.
Speaking of the country, we also say hello to everybody who listens out of state, around the country, and around the world. Great point, Tabitha. It's not that I'm surprised that he wouldn't answer questions, because he hasn't been. And if he does, and even mainstream media is calling him out. Mainstream
They have
media
to. They
has
have to.
begun to call him out for not answering questions, something I wasn't sure I would ever see. And then the fact that he did it on a worldwide stage. I'm always thinking next level. I'm always thinking, 2 streets down, 3 streets down, because I don't trust what's going on. There is no way, quote, his handlers, his press people would throw him to the wolves, knowing that worldwide media is there. The British Prime Minister, they know in advance who's going to take questions and who's not. It isn't just a spur. Oh, let's take questions. No. There's security. You got to get in. You got to get out. You're told in advance how much time you'll have, where you'll stand, what you'll do. I live this life every day. They knew in advance Biden was not going to take questions.
And they were outraged.
Well, worldwide media was like, what? Huh? This stuff,
You could hear that.
a president not speaking is
Right.
total crap. It is. It's crap. The American people deserve better than that.
I know.
It just blows my mind as a medium. I'm like, oh, no, please speak so you can defend yourself. I
I'm
want
surprised-
everybody to defend themselves.
That's never good.
Republican, Democrat, Independent.
It's not going to happen. I'm just surprised they
Oh.
allowed us to hear the media outrage as they were being pushed out of the room without
Yes.
being able to ask questions.
Yes.
But you know what, Vic?
The leader of the free world.
I know, but is he anymore? No.
America's back.
And how free are
America's
we
back.
these days? But CNN is even turning on Biden. I don't know if you saw this article last week. I did. I just wasn't here to talk about it. You know how we had the drone strike in Afghanistan that was allegedly killed the ISIS member?
Yep.
Okay, well, we talked about it far before the news did on this
Yes,
show.
we did.
That we knew that was an innocent civilian, a U.S. aid worker, loading his car up with water bottles, which killed 10 innocent people, 7 of them being children.
At least we admitted to it.
We admitted to it. We knew. And I'll tell you what, I was shocked to see last week that CNN actually sided against Biden, the Biden administration. And they came out and they said, not only was he an innocent U.S. aid worker loading water into his car, but there were no secondary explosions. And that's, of course, the Biden administration's second excuse. Well, there had to have been bombs in there because there were secondary explosions. Well, CNN had all these experts on their panel, and they said there were no secondary explosions. There was nothing in that car. There were no bombs. This person was 100% innocent.
Well,
People are waking up.
Well, maybe. But if you're waking up, what does it mean? Because how bad does something have to get? What can possibly
Nothing
happen?
will happen. Nothing
That
will
situation is not going to change when it comes to how leadership is going. The lack of questioning, the lack of answers for what we're seeing. It's not going to change. Nothing.
It's not going to change.
That can only get worse. How long until a change is made at the top? That's what I mean, I'm not calling for it, but I constantly see things that go, oh, man. And Kamala's very quiet. She's still been out of the news, very, very, very eerily quiet. Eerily. So I'm wondering if something's going on. I always think,
She peeped around.
are they
yesterday.
throwing, handlers, PR, White House administration, throwing Biden to the wolves on purpose?
They could be.
You don't throw your president in front of worldwide media and say, I'm not going to answer. Oh, my, could you imagine President Obama at the time? No freaking way. No president in my lifetime ever would go into a room, ever, and not answer questions from worldwide media?
Because he was told not to.
Well, exactly. He's told not to. He doesn't know not to say he's not supposed
But
to.
And then
that's
you
what I
break
mean.
down the question why, and the reason is because we've seen him try to answer questions, and it's sad because we care for the man.
Do we?
And yeah, I do.
Okay.
I
well,
care for him. I do. I care for him. I care for his family, regardless of what I may feel or like or dislike, whatever. It's about trying to be an American and promoting our country. And we've got a guy that can't speak and answer questions right now, which is sad.
Okay.
And they won't let him. They, once again, being his press or media corps, knowing full well, and this is something that's near and dear to my heart because I live this life. It's my job. It's my livelihood. You don't set somebody up for failure like that. You just don't. You do whatever it takes, but they set him up for failure again, and he just went along with it. And I feel so bad
always
for him
been this
since
way.
he can't answer questions. And this is our president.
But why would he be a contrarian to that? Why would he accept that as a person? Say, no, I'm going to get out there. If somebody told Trump that before he walked out,
Drew, please, where are you?
he would have walked out there and said, who's got questions? You know what I mean? If they told him not to answer questions, he would specifically answer more questions.
He doesn't know what's going on. It's been this way since day one. He was incompetent before he took office. Nothing that's going on surprises me. Somebody said, hey, you're not going to answer questions today. And he repeats everything he hears because he has no mind of his own. He's just like a parrot. He repeats everything, whether they want him to or not, because he's incompetent. And of course they're edging out.
It's just not right what the press corps, or not the press corps, the White House is doing for our president.
It
Okay?
was not
he,
fair for
he
him to be the
deserves, whether you
president.
like him or not, agree with his politics or not, he deserves better treatment than to be thrown out there time and time and time again.
Vic, it's what he signed up for.
I know. And not only is this horrible to do to him, look at what it does to our country.
These people don't care about our country.
Because that position is of service. You serve the people. And when you're not answering questions, when you're not letting people know, you're not serving the people. Once again, the toughest job in America right now is White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. Because and whether she's speaking truth or not, every day she has to come up with something. Or the people writing the responses in the administration have to come up with something day after day after day after day. I mean, literally, Jen Psaki asked by Fox News why people coming across the border, illegal immigrants, they're not immigrants, they're illegal immigrants, and the Border Patrol down there, that's the phrases they're using. That's not me. We ran a story 2 nights ago on Fox 2. The first quote out of the gate was, the illegal immigrants are coming across the border, and asked, well, why weren't you vetting these people, knowing where they're, why weren't you asking them for COVID
Why would they?
vaccine? And you know what Jen Psaki's response was? She said, well, these people weren't planning on staying long.
Yeah, right.
She said it. And I'm like, oh, my God, that should be breaking news on every local, national, worldwide. Well, these people are not planning on staying. She literally looked at, who's the reporter, Ducey?
I would like to kick her.
No,
I would like to kick her in her
we don't.
behind.
Well, we don't have to be mean and do
Well, that's
call
not
names. I'm just
mean.
saying.
That's
She
not
literally
mean.
looked at the reporter, dead serious, and said, "Well, these people coming across the border, they're not planning on staying long."
And she knows that's a flat out lie.
Oh
It's
my!
a lie.
I was like, oh.
And it wouldn't matter.
So
anyway.
anytime it comes to anything press related, that's something I will speak on. Anytime it comes to putting our president in a horrible situation where he can't monitor the situation, he can't maneuver his way
He
through.
never could, though, Vic. Not even before he took office. When he was up doing those campaign trips, he had no clue what was going on. He wasn't answering questions.
I know.
Nothing has changed.
Regardless of what happened, this is what we're seeing now, and it just blows my mind that he's literally sitting there, and everybody's like,
It's elder abuse. We've said that from day one when he was campaigning. It's elder abuse.
You
They are
don't
taking
shut
advantage.
down the press corps in a midst of, after you have a UN meeting and then you're sitting with Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister. He's answering, he's taking questions, and you won't take questions. And considering everything that's going on right now with the COVID crisis, inflation high, products slowing down. You've got problems with Afghanistan pullout you're still having to answer for. There's Americans still stuck in Afghanistan.
Several.
The
yes.
border crisis.
Hundreds.
It's like, no questions.
Yeah.
America's back.
Here's my
Drew,
statement.
Drew, come on, man. Come on, Drew.
Drew commented, he said I was mean because I don't care about Biden.
Have him call in.
No, you don't have to. Yeah, I mean, I kind of got on you a little bit. For
I don't.
that.
I'm not mean. I could care less about Biden. You know what? He is destroying this country. People are losing their lives because of him. No, I don't care.
Man,
Hey,
like-
Eric. Good morning.
wouldn't you like to hear from him? Wouldn't you like to hear from Drew Collins?
Oh, he did.
Call in, Drew. I mean, it's time that he calls in.
Well,
man.
it's not even if it's not Drew. Just somebody to
Drew.
defend what the White House administration is doing
No
to our
one-
president.
no one can defend him.
I just need someone to defend this clown. He's a clown. I'm mean. Okay. I'm
That's fine. You guys are calling them
I
names.
don't feel
I'm
bad
not.
for
But
Biden.
I don't feel
for
bad at all.
1
I look
second.
at 45,000 Haitian refugees that they're just letting across the border. I see an administration that blames guys on horses for using their reins and they're calling them whips. You're not.
well, it's not a whip, but the
It's not a
pictures
whip,
look
right.
similar to slavery days. Unfortunately, it's a
well-
horrible scene. But guess what? If you're breaking
It's
the
not
law,
a horrible scene, Vic. I don't
If
know
you're
if you
on a
noticed
the
horse-
this.
pictures do.
I don't know if you know
Eric,
this, but
Eric-
If you're on a horse,
he's
it
controlling
does.
the horse. He's not
Okay.
controlling the
I know.
migrants.
And not only that, but if you're an officer that rides a horse, you have to police from that horse, and you have to do what you have to do. And it may mean reaching down off the horse to wrangle someone. I mean, that's not racist. It's called you're doing your job. You just happen to be
No,
on a horse.
it's not. But when you start putting the pictures side by side, they look
And that's
similar.
the media.
And that's the media who is doing that.
That's the media.
National media.
Where's Drew Collins? Call in, dog, because I need to talk to you because I seriously need to understand why people are putting up with this administration anymore.
Well,
I seriously am sick to my
what is
stomach.
that, Eric? Before we go to break,
Sure.
what does that mean? How people continue to put up with the administration?
No, put up. I mean,
I'll
go down the list.
What are people supposed to do? Let's say you have a Biden voter. You know,
Nobody voted for Biden. They voted against Trump. Let's get
Maybe.
that straight.
know
Nobody.
what? It's
This
a-
clown does not. He didn't
We got-
garner 5% of the vote in any other primary up to this point. He's a joke. He's an absolute joke. No, there's no. It's not even. You can't even debate that anymore. The guy doesn't take a question as the leader of the free world. I mean, come on. He has no ability to stand behind a podium or stand and take a question without someone writing the answer
He
for
has
him.
no ability to be the president, for God's sakes.
it's just let's just start with some questions being answered on a continual basis to show that you can do that. No president that we have seen in any recent times, President Trump, President Obama, President Bush, President Clinton, nobody has ever not done this. And all world leaders are speaking, right? And you're right next to the British Prime
I just
Minister,
want a
Boris
voice.
Johnson, and you can't. And then,
Yeah.
and here's the thing. And then not only were the questions stopped, but the press corps was being like pushed out, which is why
That's even worse.
You don't.
That is so
do that.
communist China. Drew
When-
Collins, what's the phone number around here? I can't even remember.
If you want to give us a call, the phone number 636-695-2915, 636-695-2915. You can join us on Facebook as well. 100.7 The Viper on Facebook. Share the show, of course. You can always join us at viperrocks.com. By the way, we'll come back. We'll finish up this too. There's another national TV host who was ripping the president yesterday, and Jen Psaki didn't like it. This is a very, very liberal Democrat talk show host, news anchor. We'll tell you what she had to say and what Psaki said. Also at 8:30, can't miss radio. Jane Duker joins us, the legal representation for St. Louis City, St. Louis County Police, the former press secretary for Governor Holden as well. We got a lot to talk to her about things going on in the city, everything from policing to vaccines to Kim Gardner lawsuit, you name it. We've got it. Wow, oh wow, you won't want to miss it. Eric's already.
I would like to talk about St. Louis with Jane, but today we're going to ask her opinions on this administration.
We're going to talk. She's coming on because of St. Louis City, St. Louis County Police,
Great.
and other issues. If you want to ask her another question, that would be great.
At least you can move
She
away
can
from
give you
St.
the
Louis.
Democratic side. That would be great.
Right, exactly.
All right, Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan in for Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Don't go anywhere. We're back just a couple minutes here on The Edge. Oh, wait till you hear what this anchor said. Back right after this.
The Edge Morning Show. Back in a moment.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. The new Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed is only $8.99, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Spectrum Glass is known for their quality work on windshields, but they do so much more. Spectrum Glass also specializes in residential, commercial, and automotive window tinting. Reduce the heat, reduce the fading, and increase your comfort with professional window tinting from Spectrum Glass. Serving St. Charles and surrounding counties since 1995, Spectrum Glass is still your premier company for windshield replacement. And with free mobile service, they come to you. 636-294-1800 on Facebook and SpectrumGlassOnline.com.
It's the Warrenton, Missouri 2021 Fall Festival, Saturday, September 25th, 12 noon to 9:30 at night on Main Street, downtown. The Warrenton Fall Festival includes a car and motorcycle show, fireworks, Ms. Missouri USA, Kids Corner, vendors, and of course, food and lots of it. And unbelievable live entertainment. Listen to this: Butch Wax and the Hollywoods, Pure Prairie League, Atlanta Rhythm Section, and Orleans. Yes, you heard all that right. The whole family will enjoy the Warrenton Fall Festival Saturday, September 25th, starting at 12 noon. Downtown on Main. Don't miss it. Go to warrenton-mo.org for more. warrenton-mo.org.
If you have a calling to serve people in your community and help bring about positive change, come join us. Compass Health Network is currently hiring for multiple positions. We serve communities in 46 counties across Missouri and have a place for you. If you are a licensed therapist, nurse, integrated health specialist, dental assistant, office manager, or IT specialist, Compass Health Network offers a supportive work environment and great benefits. Find out more at careers.compasshealthnetwork.org.
70 years and counting. NHRA Championship Drag Racing is the fastest, most explosive sport on earth. The NHRA Camping World Drag Racing Series is headed to St. Louis at full speed. Join us for the NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 24th through 26th at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Feel the power. Get tickets at www.raceway.com. Brought to you in part by the Office of Illinois Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
You will solve the great mystery.
Streaming only on Peacock.
This is Robert Langdon. The suspect called him.
I teach symbology. He wants me to locate an ancient portal buried within the Capitol.
From the author of Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons.
It's your dad. The people who took him want me to find a piece of a very old puzzle.
And executive producers Ron Howard and Brian Grazer.
We have to finish this or my dad is dead.
Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol. Streaming now with new episodes every Thursday. Only on Peacock.
Dateline St. Louis. Authorities have linked recent disappearances to infamous serial killer Eli Cobb.
Eli Cobb is back at the Cobb Factory.
Doctor!
And he's taken over Main Street in Old Monroe.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
Enter if you dare, but pray for a way out. From the moment you enter, you'll be lost in a sea of darkness, scratching and clawing to find your way out, trying to avoid the clutches of local serial killer Eli Cobb. Grab your ticket at the train station for a one-way ride to hell.
Come out, wherever you are.
The Cobb Factory. Don't miss the terrifying all-new 3D experience, taking your fears to a whole new dimension. For more information and for discount tickets, go to panicfest.com. Open weekends beginning October 1st.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan in for Chris Knight. Tabitha Hassell's here, battling her allergies. And I'm Vic Faust from
Brendan
Fox.
thinks I'm going to murder him with my COVID.
Look, say what you want. Say what you want. It's
totally
a legitimate
get it.
concern.
No question about it. I
If
absolutely agree.
anybody is hacking up around me, regardless, if this were before COVID, I didn't like it.
But you've got your vaccine. You've got your
I've been
vaccination.
vaxxed, but that doesn't. We've already determined it doesn't necessarily matter.
Don't mean nothing.
Right.
Well, we know it. It's we determined means public health officials have already told us and doctors that just because we're vaccinated in life doesn't mean we're not going to get it. We can still get it as much as anybody who doesn't have a vaccination and spread it as easy.
Right.
The vaccination is when it comes to keeping you out of the hospital as long or making it as serious. That's what we're being told by public
Right,
health.
and for an old fat guy, I don't like it.
But people,
yeah, you know what? It helps.
settle
it
down
helps,
there,
but old
princess.
fat guy,
Settle
I get it.
down.
whatever.
You'll
there-
be fine.
Whatever. COVID 22.
You've
You've
been
had it how many times now? I've had COVID in a puffy shirt on 16 times.
Yes.
My antibodies are like Russell Wilson deep pass.
That's well. Yes, I like that.
Jane Duker coming up in a couple of minutes. You don't want to miss that. Let me get this in real quick. We may have to talk about it a little later, though. Jen Psaki says she was taken aback yesterday when CBS anchor Gayle King, Oprah's friend, criticized the president and things going on, saying, quote, very bad behavior by the United States internationally. She also noted that, quote, there's a lot of incoming at the White House these days, given a recent spate of negative headlines at home and abroad for the Biden administration. After Psaki previewed President Joe Biden's Tuesday address before the United Nations General Assembly as forward-looking, Gayle King then went on and said that, quote, Biden can't ignore what has happened before. And Psaki could not believe that this was going on and that she was saying this.
Because they think they're all a team. It's like one of our team members is jumping off the boat. No, come on, man. Media is they are the lapdog of this administration. We're not saying anything nobody knows. And Gayle King is right up there with Oprah. It's her buddy. And when somebody that big says something like, you guys are only taking incoming fire, why aren't you returning fire? Because this administration, they're complacent on everything. They just basically they don't. That's why I want Drew to call in, or we'll talk to any liberal, anyone that wants to call in here and defend Biden. I want to. Let's just pretend that Trump never runs for anything again. You did your job. You didn't vote for Trump. That's what you guys voted for, not Trump. Let's get past that. Now you have Biden in there. I need you to come up with a list of at least 5 things that he has done proactively to make this country better since he's gotten into office. Not the 5 things to destroy the country, because that's ultimately what they want to do. You can't build something new until you break down the old. They're trying to destroy the country, yada, yada, yada. Everybody gets it. $3.5 trillion out there. That's going to destroy the economy. Millions of illegal immigrants. That's a new voting bloc. That's going to destroy the country. I need somebody to come on here that's a liberal, that's not from St. Charles, that's not in a red state. I need someone that's coming on here as a blue dog Democrat right now, whatever the phone number is, and just say, Eric, good question. Let me give you the 5 things that Biden has done that are fantastic. Don't worry about the non-Trumpers. Here's what Biden's done proactively to make this country.
There are a lot of people who will give you that because you know what's going on at the border that we don't like. Progressive liberals like that. They think we should open the borders and let every single person in. They like that abortions could be had by anyone. That's what they want. Somebody actually sat and told me this that last week. They're like, don't be upset, but I'm all for free abortions. Everybody should be able to get an abortion anytime and any day they want. Anyone should cross the border anytime, any day they want.
Well, there's
people
a lot.
Think differently than we
I
do.
need to know why that's a good thing.
Okay, there's a lot going on. Eric, Jane is awesome. We'll let you ask Jane before she gets done with this interview about lack of responses from the president. All right?
You just gave it away. I wanted to be more spontaneous. Now she has time to think
Hi,
about
Jane.
it.
Oh, wow. Good morning, Jane. I was giving
Good
you
morning.
I was giving you a little heads up. Jane's got enough to deal with locally before you even talk about anything from a national standpoint. Jane, I just don't get it. St. Louis City Mayor Tashara Jones, whether it is truly increased policing, announced publicly they had this new plan to bring more policing to the downtown effort. Is that true? And why, if it is true, why is the Coalition of St. Louis Area Community Organizations attacking the mayor for that?
Well, one, you can't really say added resources at all, because as of January 1, the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department has lost 122 officers. More than 315 or 20 are eligible for retirement. So we are going to be hitting a crisis level as far as resources within the department.
How many did you say are eligible for retirement?
320 are eligible for retirement.
When?
God.
Now. They're eligible now.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, no, it is frightening. It's you know, and what people don't understand is in the mid-'90s, when the crack wars were going on, there was a huge influx of federal money that hired a ton of police officers, all at or near the same time. So those officers now are eligible to retire. So that huge influx of personnel is now at retirement. So we are genuinely at a cliff. And so, you know, the departures are at a record level. So morale's at an all-time low. But, you know, this idea that, you know, she's adding 30 officers, first of all, she announced this plan in May. Okay, it's the same plan. It was the whatever summer, I don't know, what was it, the summer patrol, whatever, violence, I don't know. It had some name. It's the exact same officers, the exact same group. So really it's a rehashed, it's kind of a reheated plan that didn't work. And they're just moving resources from somewhere else in the department or in the city. So there's no, you know, we're filling cars with overtime officers now. So there's no extra cops sitting around. Now, we genuinely have an allocation problem as well within the police department. We have way too many white shirts, too many people who are not in cars, who only show up at murder scenes, you know, not patrolling the streets. So we not only have a raw sort of resource deficit, but we also have an allocation problem. And, you know, all these crime plans, they never talk to the line officers. They never talk to our people to say, hey, what might work? You know, what do you think could actually help here? They just ignore that. They make stuff up. And sadly, you know, when Dan Isom was chief, he successfully reduced crime by doing exactly the opposite of what he's doing now. So, you know, it makes no sense to the rank and file when they're looking at someone who knows darn well what needs to happen and won't do it.
I just don't think they care. I saw the press conference with was it DeWitt? Was it her and DeWitt sitting out there with the?
Yeah, that was a week and a half ago.
A week and a half ago, I was watching that, and I was thinking in the back of my mind, in these businesses, like, you know what, St. Louis, this is your last chance. The crime is getting out of control. It's spreading. AT&T's building the skyscraper down there. They're trying to give it away pennies on the dollar. No developer wants it. We are in a situation where you're looking at a trend line that it's not where you're at now at any point of these conversations. It's the trend. Where were you at? Right. Where are you going? St. Louis is in jeopardy of being East St. Louis. It's in jeopardy of being a dead city.
It's worse than East St. Louis already.
So when I saw that press conference, I was like, this is unbelievable. We have the business.
It was all cosmetic.
Yeah. It's like the businesses behind Tashara going, this is your last chance. We're on camera with you one more time. If this doesn't get resolved, we're out of here and you're on your own. Do you get that feeling? And do you really care about putting more cops on the streets? At this point, the message needs to be, you commit a crime, we are going to amp up the penalty so bad that you won't even be able to get out of jail for the next 15 years.
Yeah. I mean, the criminals know they're running the place.
Yes.
I mean, the idea that you can go up to a candlelight vigil for one murder right practically in front of police headquarters and open fire and drive away, they know they're in charge. I mean, that is a level of brazen. It's, you know, we're getting daylight crimes. We're getting, you know, they have hundreds of millions of dollars invested in the Arch ground. Hundreds of millions of dollars. And on Wash Ave. Wash Ave is destroyed. Yeah. It's destroyed. All of that money, all of that, you know, I'm old enough, sadly, to remember when Wash Ave was the red light district. The fact that they had gotten it turned around, only to let it slip through their fingers again. is maddening. And I'm telling you, you nailed it when you said she doesn't care. She's doing this because she sort of has to. I think the businesses, I'm not sure if they know they're getting a banana in the tailpipe or, do they just think they can't do anything about it? Because that whole press conference was cosmetic. And what's funny is she admitted it when she said, we have to, give the appearance of safety. No, Mayor, you need actual safety.
Yes.
That's what we need is actual safety, and cultural events. I'm sitting here going, really? You think a couple concerts downtown is going to stave off crime?
Right.
What planet are we on?
No, that's just more
and
cars to
common
break
sense
into.
is out the window.
Yep, you're right.
Hey, Jane, something that always hits home with me and a lot of people that I talk to is at one time we were saying, well, there's only about 34 police cars at any time patrolling throughout the entire St. Louis City area. And people say, well, it doesn't affect me, but it does affect you. Just recently, I was driving down the highway. I saw one car shooting at another car, which is all too common these days.
What highway?
Down Highway 40, downtown, just past where the old arena used to be. And I tried to call 911 because I'm thinking, this is crazy. I ended up being on hold for 6 minutes. Then I got disconnected. Then I was on hold for another 6 minutes. And I'm like, by now everybody is dead or on their way, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I mean, it does affect us. If there's only 30-something cars patrolling at any given time, the calls are coming in, and they can't even call 911 and get a quick response. People in the city are on their own. I mean, the police only have time to pick up the pieces.
We're getting, the city's getting $500 million. Okay, that's a lot of money.
That's the federal CARES money for our listeners,
Yeah,
just in case if they
the
didn't
ARPA
know.
money. Yeah, it's recovery money, and it can be used for public safety. So why not hire a ton of dispatchers and pay them? Pay them.
Right.
I mean, you're all for a living wage. Well, the 911 operators are barely making a minimum wage. Not even, some of them, the newer ones.
That's awful.
So, it's a very stressful job, and you have to pay people. And so 911, that's a whole nother disaster. I mean, people just don't want to do it. And, when you vilify police long enough, then you wonder why nobody's coming.
Absolutely.
And it's a problem. And, I hear, we have to talk about the root causes of crime. Look, I'm liberal at heart, and I'm all for, education, job opportunities, housing. But there's two problems here. One, any investment you make in those items right now is a waste of money because if people are getting slaughtered in the streets, those investments don't matter. You have to do both. You have to walk and chew gum at the same time. And that needs to happen now. Second of all, I hear about, we need it's homeless and, it's the poor people. And I'm sitting here going, there is zero data, evidence that the homeless are the ones committing these crimes.
Oh my gosh, it's definitely not.
And, the shooting the other night, nice SUV, complicated, sophisticated weaponry. These are not poor homeless people committing these crimes.
No, these people
They're
have
not.
body armor and AK-47s.
Yeah, I had to.
Right.
Yeah,
But just
so don't blame the poor and the homeless.
No,
for,
absolutely not.
Brazen crime. We have a fundamental problem.
Are you saying that was the
needs to be
shooting
addressed.
at the Vigil, Jane, or is that a different shooting?
Oh, damn.
The Vigil. But most of them.
It is
Most of them. These
I've
are
seen
not
them.
abject poor. This is not the
That's right.
homeless unleashing
No.
guns on the citizenry.
No, Jane, I have seen these people. I lived downtown for 4 years and right by Pepper Lounge, actually, right across the road. And I'll tell you what, I saw these people driving around in cars. They had full body armor on. They had AR-15s and AK-47s. And you know what? They weren't even scared that anyone saw them. I mean, no one was pulling them over saying, hey, what are you doing? They're free.
Right.
They're just roaming our city free.
Well, look at that video from Rain.
Yeah.
The thing that was so chilling to me was how blasé a shootout is.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It looked calm. It was calm.
It was calm and cool, collected. I mean, I'm like, well, they do this all the time.
They do it all the time.
You can look
They
that
do it all
video
the
up on
time.
fox2.com if people haven't seen that either.
Yeah, you really
by
should
the way.
because you need to realize how brazen. Like it's a whole nother level of brazen, and it's just there's a war going on, and I'm not sure it's about drugs. I think it's about turf. I think it's about respect. I think it's about opportunity. I think it's about culture. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and we need to get a handle on it. And it's, look, it's not just affecting the city; it's affecting the region.
Well,
so they go to St. Louis County, and St. Louis County criminals go down to the city.
Tell her the story about Elliot.
Yeah, I will. Jane Duker, by the way, represents, for those who may be new to the show, we know we have people that come in all the time and listen all around the country and around the state who may not be from the St. Louis area. Jane is legal representation for St. Louis County and St. Louis City Police. First of all, I did hear that St. Louis County Council voted last night for raises for county police. Is that correct?
They did.
Congratulations on that. It's
I know,
about
I'm very
time.
excited. We got our collective bargaining agreements done. Now, of course, the mayor is trying to bust the union in the city, so she ought to be paying them more. The disparity between city and county is getting larger, but that's why city cops are leaving. They're going to community departments. They're going to county. They're going to St. Charles. They're going to Jeffco.
That's not good. What Eric wanted me to bring up for you too. Last night, my colleague Elliot Davis did a story. The one point on crime and lack thereof in St. Charles County right now, and he interviewed police. You did see it?
I did. I actually tweeted about it.
Okay. Well, then because you heard the police and the police chief and Dan Borgmeyer and Yingst saying, well, if you come here and you commit a crime, there's going to be consequences. So don't come here if you don't think there's going to be consequences. And there hasn't been one murder this year in St. Charles City, and 45% of the crime that has happened has come from St. Louis City. And I was like, oh, man. So Eric wanted me to bring that up to you because that was in Elliot's story last night.
Spot on. I mean, spot on. And that is how crime leads, though. I mean, you'd think it's not just staying in the city. Now, St. Charles is doing a good job. I mean, and remember, they had all the stuff. They were open during COVID with the clubs and whatnot, and things got a little shaky, and they shut it down.
Yes.
And so there was just really no way, because really it was the only game in town. And so everybody was going to the clubs right there in Old St. Charles. And they said, nope, we're not doing it. And they shut it down. And so now, I mean, you're coddled. And what I find ironic, though, is, they claim to care about these people, the detainees, the poor people who are beleaguered by the police. By the way, police aren't shooting these people, just for the record. And but the close the workhouse debacle, where they actually put these people into more dangerous conditions by overcrowding CJC. What people don't tell you is that CJC was never meant to be a medium security institution. It was supposed to be a drunk tank. That's why there were not sophisticated locks and all, because it was not meant to be a long-term facility. That's what the workhouse was. And it is. Oh, yeah, it is. It's still open. Let's not, let's be truthful here. And so, so they put all those people in CJC, put them in danger, have riots, sent hundreds of St. Louis City citizens, people who committed crimes in the city, who live in the city, all over the country, because they terminated the federal contract. Because, the feds were prosecuting all the crimes that Kim Gardner wouldn't prosecute. So,
exactly.
And then the feds pay the city a lot of money to house their prisoners, like way over the rate, much more than the state pays. So Tashara's first move was to terminate that contract. So what that meant was $9 million less in revenue to the city, which was actually helping subsidize the rest of the jail operations. And all of these people get sent away from their families, their lawyers, all over the country because, there's no room in Missouri. I mean, that is just stupid policy. It was a slogan that's gone bad. And these are the people they claim to care about.
Yes.
But they don't care about them. And so now they, you talk to the federal public defender and he says, I got to go to Indiana to talk to my client, or I can't ever be face-to-face with them. And you want these people to have a stable environment and be around their families. Well, they're not.
Right.
So, I just don't get the value.
So
I just don't.
So let's shift gears. Let's go abstract a little bit. You've had a year and a half, 2 years of looking at St. Louis, maybe longer than that, and now you just had a beautiful dissertation on St. Charles and how safe it is and how this area is doing a great job. And I've been calling out some of our liberal friends on Facebook. They won't call in. I don't know why, but they are always kind of trashing. I just think that, again, I kind of think that it's like if you're a Cardinal fan, you remain a Cardinal fan.
Eric is not a liberal Democrat, just to let you know.
No, I'm not
that.
a liberal Democrat at all. But if you're a Cardinal fan.
I'm a Central Democrat, too.
If you're a Cardinal fan, you're never going to be a Cub fan, and vice versa. I'm wondering, and I'm asking you, and then I'll get on to some national questions. And well, maybe I will now.
I was like, what is it?
Joe Biden. I mean, just the entire lump of stuff that this country's going through now and what St. Louis is going through right now. Do you ever sit in a quiet space in your home and go, I'm not going to be a liberal Democrat anymore. If Tashara runs again and there's a qualified Republican that has an amazing idea to fix this damn town, I'm voting Republican. Is there any part of you? No, I'm not kidding, because I'll tell you what.
There is definitely a crisis of party, and there's a lot like us. There's a lot of conservative Democrats around. They're afraid to stick their head up, but they send me messages thanking me for, calling out the left wing. And I mean, I mean, I'm an old person. I'm sure they call me boomer, whatever.
No, you're not.
But, right, whatever, boomer. I know experience is bad, right? Knowledge is bad.
Yes.
It's the values. My values haven't changed. The party's changed, but my values haven't changed.
Well,
I still believe in capitalism. I don't believe in socialism.
Yes.
I never have.
Okay.
So that's A. I mean, so that sort of takes out a lot of the left wing of our party because they genuinely are socialists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, and they all say to me, why don't you just become a Republican and admit it? And I go, I will never give you the satisfaction. I am staying in this party to bring it back to where it was.
That's the Jane Duker I know.
Letting you hijack it.
What if, okay, Jane, what if it's just what if the AOCs and the Cory Bushes of the world, what if they've just pulled it way too far to the left and you're like, that's unfixable. I have got to start subscribing to things that will fix this city.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just go independent. I mean, look, I have been in government my entire career. And what is going on in the city and the county right now is against all good government. It's against everything I've ever seen. And good public servants on both sides of the aisle. I mean, I have always been able to work with both sides. And you can ask. I mean, I get more bills passed than a lot of Republicans because I will work with anyone that has good ideas about anything that I'm passionate about. And so, I mean, I can walk into any Republican caucus and talk because everyone knows that I say what I mean and I mean what I say.
Jane, that's why I like you. That's what I met you. I met
person.
Jane in the midst of a bunch of political people and from political people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out, so I guess you guys all agree. No, we don't all agree. I was like,
but Jane is very moderate. But Jane, you should run for mayor. You should run for any kind of position. But the problem is, we all know you'd never be elected.
I'm too honest.
Well, why?
Exactly.
You know
I don't understand
Eric,
why.
She wouldn't be elected because she's reasonable and has some common sense. And you know what? And no one wants somebody reasonable with common sense in those positions. And Jane, I'm so frustrated right now. I actually came in mad this morning, if anybody here noticed. Because I feel like we're so helpless and hopeless that that we see it all done. We know what the problem is. We know how to fix it. But none of that matters because the people in those positions will never allow that to happen. They want to destroy this country.
The extremes have hijacked it. I mean, they have, both sides. I mean, I go to these council meetings in the county, and I hear there's some whack jobs there. I mean, there are. But a lot of them have, real things to say that, everybody just paints as, quackery. And, and I'm like, this isn't helping either. And so, and both sides have hijacked the extremes. And the 60% of us in the middle are just staring into space saying, when will this stop?
And that's why what Tabitha said is so important. I think you are one of the more powerful people. You're one of the more powerful voices because you can say, look, guys, I am a Democrat. I am liberal.
But Tashara blocked her on Twitter.
So what?
Great. But you know what's so funny? You know what is so great about that? She says, bye, Felicia, or whatever, bye, girl. And I'm like, you know what? You're not blocking me. You're reading every word I say. Why are you responding to me? If you're, that's not really blocking me when you respond to what I say and you subtweet me on your quote personal account. I mean, I call her the mean-ager mayor because she acts like a mean-ager.
Hey, Jade, before you get out of here for Eric, because I know he'll say it as soon as we get off here. Oh, I should have asked him. We ran out of time. I didn't get to ask enough questions. And
No,
Tabitha
I need to
will
get
say,
up here with
then
her.
Tabitha will say, oh, no, you asked like 8 questions, Eric.
Yeah, Eric asked all the questions.
Well, that's
Hey, Jade, from a national perspective, Eric was really frustrated. Who's ever helping the press in the White House, President Biden not speaking yesterday, I don't know if it was a great look sitting next to the British Prime Minister. He won't take questions. He won't answer, but other world leaders are. As a Democrat and somebody who voted for President Biden, does it frustrate you? Do we need to see more? Do you worry? Do you think he's being put in a bad situation? That's a question Eric wanted to ask.
Yes.
Look, I do think that he could be doing a better job on that. Do I think it's the end of the world? No. I mean, I think genuinely people are relatively happy with what's going on. I think he's going to be defined by COVID, and he better get it under control because this is the problem. Democrats have decided that COVID fear porn is the hill they want to die on. So, now, this is going to be they've taken it on, and this is going to be the albatross. So, I do think that is going to be something that he is going to have to contend with. And, he's going all in, doing the mandates and whatnot, and it better pay off. Because I'm telling you, if we go through this winter and we're still, wearing masks and being told that we're killers, if we, think that you ought to be able to take off your mask inside if you're vaccinated, people are about done.
Well, he's upside down on every single poll on every single issue as far as the polls right now. I think on COVID he is at he's at a 38%.
COVID wasn't a good thing for President Trump either.
Well, it's not a good thing, period.
And midterms suck. They do, and it's going to be a slaughtering. We're going to lose probably 8 to 10 seats just because of redistricting. Okay, just right off the top, we're losing 8 to 10. Midterm slaughter, we're going to lose. The House is gone. It's just a matter of how much. And the Senate, we have a chance because the map favors Democrats, but, we're razor thin there. So, the ship, it's kind of weird. Voters are like jurors. They sort of find rough justice one way or another. And the country is usually comfortable with split government because it forces everybody to sort of be reasonable or nothing gets done, which I'm not in favor of that. That's usually what happens is nothing gets done. But, the split government that's usually where people try to find the sweet spot. And so midterms, he's gonna, it's hard to judge because this is really genuinely the worst time for any president.
Give Biden.
Tabitha, jump in really quick because we got to get to break.
I wanted to read that we had a comment on our comment line. It says, why doesn't she become a Republican? Stop with the act. And Jane, I want to point out to everyone that you have not.
You can't give that to Jane as we got to go.
So great.
The party
it's
has
just so
changed,
it's
not
like
you.
clockwork.
If
I'm staying in the party, and I'm going to get it back to where it was.
Absolutely.
We're not socialists. We're capitalists. We believe in working people. We believe in jobs. We believe in, and we do believe in personal responsibility, but we also believe in a safety net.
And real Democrats love their country, and they support police.
And they love police.
Absolutely.
Do you believe in participation rates?
Tell that to Cori Bush. Tell that to Cori Bush.
She wants another eviction moratorium.
Yay!
Billions of dollars sitting in accounts, and we need another moratorium.
We'll talk about that in the 9 o'clock hour as well. St. Louis City and County Police Representation. Jane Duker, also lobbyist, lawyer, mom, busy, Twitter, at Jane Duker. You got it. Twitter star. You got to check her out on Twitter. But you know what?
Love it, guys.
Hey, you're not just throwing up crap. It's legitimate. It's legitimate stories.
I do my policy. Been at it for a long time. I'm a boomer.
It shows. Jane Duker, thanks again for your time. Have a great Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
All right, we got to take a quick break. Eric, you can talk. She's good. She is. It's good to hear.
I want her on my team.
Yeah.
I want her on my team.
She's a good old-fashioned Democrat, just like my grandparents.
She liked JFK,
when I first met
sure.
her, you should have saw her going after Republicans. When I was like, the first night about it was like, damn.
Yeah.
We
I was
go
like,
after Republicans, too.
She's powerful.
But amongst
She's
Republicans, being the only Democrat and being a woman, and then I
for her.
learned about her history. It was just good to always get perspectives. Everybody should have their voice.
Yeah.
If more Democrats were like her,
yes,
we'd all be a lot closer.
Yes,
you know
we
what I
would.
mean?
Yeah.
It's she would be, she's that type of Democrat that somebody from the other side can go, yeah. Oh,
But
she makes a good point.
But once again, from our Facebook line as we go, and we didn't even get a chance to talk to her about the vaccine mandate. Jane is also pro-vax mandate, and she's pro-abortion. She's not Republican, is what somebody said. So, hey, you know what?
she's not
These are all
I know a
issues.
lot of Republicans that are
So-
mandate everything too.
She's a
All right.
middle-of-the-road Democrat. I'm a middle-of-the-road conservative.
If you
There's
want to give us a
nothing wrong with
call,
that.
phone number 636-695-2915. We got to take a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll get into all this. There's a lot more to talk about. We'll talk about what's going on with the border situation, with people coming in. St. Louis County Police may not have to get vaccinated. There's so much going on. We'll get to it all. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan in for Chris tonight. Tabitha Hassell and Vic Faust to Fox 2. Back with more Edge right after this and your morning headline.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
It's pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
As a trauma-informed provider, Compass Health Network is equipped to assist you or a loved one struggling with trauma, anxiety, depression, substance use disorder, or other behavioral health conditions. Our providers understand that everyone's life experiences are different and will work with you in person or virtually to develop the most effective plan of care. You are not alone. Call Compass Health Network today at 844-853-8937 or visit compasshealthnetwork.org for more information.
Today, I'm taking it to the streets to give people the good news. Oh, excuse me. Hello. I'm Flo from Progressive, and did you know...
No, I'm just waiting for the bus.
So then you have time to hear about how with Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance.
Yeah, if I was interested in talking to you, which I'm not.
Okay, I'll do the talking, and you just check if you can be saving, which is going to be pretty hard to do if you put on your headphones. Okay.
See if you're paying too much for home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
There's no place like Panera, where a bite of the toasty, saucy Chipotle chicken avocado melt tastes like, focaccia. A cool and refreshing strawberry poppy seed salad al fresco is so sweet. And a cheesy Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza in your favorite booth feels just right. So treat yourself, because there's no place like Panera. Order on the app today. Restrictions apply. Visit PaneraBread.com.
Good morning, privates! Good morning, Drill Sergeant! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. Astute observation, Private. Astute.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
So, in lieu of the obstacle course today, I propose a nice, meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone? Yes, Drill Sergeant!
Have a change of heart with Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Wake up. The Edge Morning Show.
Don't let a wet basement or foundation problems destroy the value of your property. Get a free estimate from Woods Basement Systems to fix the wall crack, bowing wall, and leaks and restore the value of your home. Plus, get the security of the Woods Basement Systems transferable warranty. Call Woods, the highest rated, most reviewed contractor for all things basementy, at 888-900-1721. Special offer online at viperbasements.com. That's viperbasements.com.
Now another hour of the Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can deliver what you need to help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box.
Oh, I'm ready.
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Viper weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray. It is officially the fall season beginning at 2:21 this afternoon. But going out the door today, it feels like fall. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Windy, it's cool from start to finish. 60s to near 70 for the high. Below average temperatures. Tonight, clear skies and chilly. 60s for evening plans. 48 for the low. Thursday, sunny and 72. Friday, sunny and 80. Right around 80 degrees Saturday and Sunday. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Well. Welcome to your morning headlines at 9:02. How does 10 wins in a row sound for the St. Louis Cardinals? Unbelievable, but it's happening. This has not happened in 20 years where they've won 10 straight games. It's crazy, too. They've got a 4-game lead with 12 games left for the second wild card spot to either play the Dodgers or Giants. It would be an epic collapse if they were not to get that second wild card at this point in time. We'll see where it goes. They play Milwaukee today. Cardinals looking good. By the way, Fox 2 and KPLR is transitioning the broadcast that we have to the next-gen TV. That's going to be happening soon. If you have any more questions, you can follow fox2now.com for that. An ambulance went off the road this morning near southbound 170 at Del Mar. That caused some traffic for a while, but it has since been cleared up, just in case if you were wondering. There's new vaccination incentives still in St. Louis County. It includes $150 gift cards for groceries and gas if you go get the vaccine. I don't know if people haven't gotten the vaccine by now. I don't think you want it, but I don't know. I guess still trying. A man was shot in East St. Louis early this morning. His condition unknown right now. There's 4 in custody after a police pursuit ended in O'Fallon, Missouri overnight as well. That had police busy. I don't see that all that often. Also, we're going to talk about this. Eviction fears rise in Ferguson. 80 people said were evicted in Ferguson. That's why Cori Bush is trying to bypass and make up her own rules when it comes to overruling the Supreme Court. We'll see where that goes. We'll talk about that here in the next hour as well to see what happens. And a man from St. Louis is claiming that police just now, after a month later, recently learned that he was actually shot in his face in the head on Interstate 70 driving. The initial report said that he had injuries sustained in the car wreck. So St. Louis City Police have admitted, we're now studying this or investigating this as a shooting. He lost his eye and half of his face was destroyed by the bullet. He is now recovering. Let's look at your morning headlines. I'm Vic Faust. Oh, is it my lucky day or what? Brendan, did you do that for me?
Damn it!
Did you give me some Blink 182 from way back in the day?
Yes, sir.
You did. Eric, you always ask me about my kind of music.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and
exactly.
1 and 2.
It was the upbeat, happy, Southern Cal.
Punk pop.
I love Blink 182.
Not
Tell
my thing.
me it's all right.
I call this nerd. This is what I considered nerd rock.
They made millions of dollars
Well, that's not the but
on their nerd rock.
Oh, you can make a lot of money with nerd
you
rock.
can make a lot of money doing a lot of different weird things.
Even though most of their songs sound the same, I still love them all.
I like the mean rock.
But when you really know Eric, you do like it.
I like mean rock.
He likes the Seattle scene.
Yeah, you're a Seattle guy. That's why.
One of my favorite songs is actually
I'm more
called
of a Cali guy.
It's called Mean Street. How much more mean can you be
And
than
you are
Mean
like the
Street?
opposite of mean.
Yeah, but Eric, to show you I really liked it, I then learned, and the last concert I went to was the lead singer, Tom Long, created a new band called Angels and Airwaves.
Okay.
So I followed him through there, too.
Was it any good?
And
Hell
his
yeah,
new
it is.
album is Spaceships and Aliens.
He's the guy in Blink-182 gets a lot of credit for making whatever news was made public with aliens.
Yes.
Because of his constant public going after them. Tom DeLonge, baby.
And he was kicked out and then brought back recently.
He was?
Yeah, he was kicked out of Blink-182 for a
That
while.
sucks. Sucks to be
Like
him.
their last big album was without Tom DeLonge.
Yeah, and it wasn't any good.
It was
That's why.
Ooh,
Original
a little critic over here. I like
and
it.
It wasn't. I can be a critic if I need
But
to.
I mean, they've always had two
I don't
lead
know where
singers.
this is gone, but I love it.
They've always had two lead singers, kind of. But Tom DeLonge did more.
Tom
of
was
that.
the main guy.
Tom was the main guy. He was the one that did the upbeat,
Yes.
the
You're
Adam
listening
song,
to the
like
point.
my
Come on.
parents got divorced
Oh my God.
today. It was really sad.
Okay.
I didn't like those songs as much.
You didn't even know what they were.
Eric Johnson's here. Brendan Shanahan. Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust. Hey, it's The Edge. You never know what we're going to talk about. We riffed a little music there. There you go. We love it. At least I do. Thanks again for the song there, Brendan. We appreciate it. Hey, Cardinals. 10 straight wins. It's been 20.
I remember a month ago.
It's been 20 years, and there's a side story to this that is good news as well. That why I'm bringing up St. Louis sports. There's some good news with St. Louis sports right now. Cardinals have won 10 straight, first time in 20 years, and they've done it. They haven't got not like in 2006 when they went to the World Series and won, because that team then all of a sudden got their players back.
Right.
This time it's the same damn players, just all of a sudden playing like they should have. Oh, what? I mean, I've never seen anything like it happen in my 4 decades plus on this planet.
Last Friday.
Baseball is one of those sports, though, that it's on any given Sunday. You can win out on baseball. You can.
Win out?
Your
He even used the
teams.
football reference on baseball.
Well, whatever.
Well,
That's what
you
I know.
when it's 4th down in the ninth
Look,
inning.
I'm going to be honest with you. I want to be honest with you. I wanted to see the Cardinals flame out bad. I just didn't care. I was ready for football season. Yeah, I was like, okay.
That's un-American.
The St. Louis Cardinals. Nobody wants to go down to St. Louis City.
You're saying apple pie is horrible and the American flag is bad.
All right. I'm just being honest. That's what I am on this show. I'm honest.
They
I'm
had,
telling the truth.
they had a 5.5% or 5.3% chance of making the playoffs last Friday.
Yeah.
Now it's like a 89%. 89% now?
89%.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, like I said, it would be an epic collapse for them not to get the second wild card. And what does that mean? They get one extra game, and if you win it, then you can go into the playoffs.
That's
so,
just
hey,
that
we'll see.
one game.
We'll see where it is, but hey, it's better than not, and it's always better to win than
Didn't they
to
do that?
lose.
They did that the year of the Red Sox when they beat
That's
the
what I was
Giants.
just. No,
Was
that's
it?
what I was just talking about. The wild card wasn't in play,
Yeah.
but in 2006 they won a bunch of games at the end.
Right, and
but
then-
they didn't have the players all season long. Then everybody got healthy.
Yeah.
And then that was the team you thought they would be
And now
this
they
time.
have the play-in game.
Yeah.
It's like that
Yeah.
play-in wild card
But the
game.
second good news that's coming, if anybody isn't watching, and this could mean even more hundreds of millions of dollars to the St. Louis City area, is what's going on with the lawsuit for Stan Kroenke and the St. Louis Rams. At the beginning, I think it was last week, the local judge ruled that this trial would go on, that it would not get a change of venue. This shocked the NFL and its attorneys, Stan Kroenke, Jerry Jones, and national lawyers are now saying at the end of this month, the NFL is going to have to start opening their books according to law for this trial to go up. That's the last thing the NFL wants because they've already been caught in about 4 or 5 lies, major lies. Don't be surprised if you see a major, major settlement coming to St. Louis City before the end of September.
So what does that mean to St. Louis? Just another $500 million in the kitty?
That we don't have that could be used for a lot of different things. Now, don't be mean. Don't be, oh, just going to waste it all anyway, blah, blah, blah. We'd have to wait and see where that money would go. But it would be a major, major win because it's not like the NFL is going to give St. Louis an expansion team, although you and I would
I don't
love,
blame Stan Kroenke at all for anything.
You
by
and
the
I
way.
would
I
love,
can't stand him.
You
but
would love. Well, if Stan Kroenke did everything right, Eric, guess what?
I don't care if he did everything
No.
wrong. He's a businessman.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what,
So
St.
it's
Louis
all right
didn't
for-
have his
So
back.
it's all right for, well, Eric,
St.
you're
Louis
talking
didn't
over
have his
yourself.
back.
If St. Louis didn't have his back and he did something illegal, that's not allowed.
I don't know what illegal
So
is
you're
because I don't know what's in those
well,
books.
let's put
I
it
don't
this
get
way.
it.
If a judge already said, no, there's merit for this case, and a judge does
Yeah,
not stop
right.
that unless there's merit for a case,
Oh, yeah.
then Stan Kroenke did something wrong. So if you want to support that,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you're entitled to your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I
I support the fact that the NFL is a business and the Stan Kroenke partnership did come to St. Louis and said, I'm interested in building a new stadium here. I'll need your help. And St. Louis went, screw you. We're going to take that money and give it to stray cats
So
or
then
whatever the
why
hell they
not?
wanted
Then
to.
why not follow the rules?
Right.
You can't. Then that
because
doesn't
he
give,
still had to
but
get
then
out of
that
St.
do-
Louis.
No, but then that doesn't give you okay. But that puts us.
I want to
here.
be in the number one market in the country.
It's-
Los Angeles
But you
makes
have,
sense
but
to me.
but there's legal things that you have to follow to do that.
And there's legal things that St. Louis had to
But
do.
St. Louis did, and they
No,
were
they
upfront.
didn't. They had to be in the top 10% of stadiums in the NFL, and they
Well-
weren't even the top. They
Well-
weren't even close.
Well, here's the thing, Eric. Or if Stan Kroenke followed everything, and you're going to find out if Stan Kroenke did not do anything wrong, if the NFL did not do anything wrong, Eric, we would not even be to this situation.
Agreed.
So you can't. Now you're playing.
No,
the
I'm
back
not.
and forth.
No,
You're
I'm not.
talking out of both
Let me
sides of
tell
your
you how.
mouth.
Hold on.
I'm not going to let you out of
No,
it.
this is fine. If Kroenke doesn't want to open his books because they were nefarious somehow, and they said, you know what, the NFL has enough money to write a $500 million check or $1 billion, whatever it is. They have the money to go, all right, you dudes, you're in the number one market. You'll make the money back. Just give St. Louis, that little crappy ass city.
That's a
what
bunch
they're-
of BS. That doesn't happen, Eric.
Well,
yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Oh my God!
No, it doesn't.
They're the cartel.
They
Yes,
they have spent so much money fighting this because they don't want the books open. They
Exactly.
don't want they
because
don't
there's
want,
something they're hiding.
Bingo. Eric, I'm telling
know
you. But
that's true.
regardless,
I get
What
it.
would they be hiding?
there's the
Kickbacks,
relocation
things like that.
practices where they are not following the law
They're
on
not
how you award cities franchises,
Right.
how you can play
yeah,
certain cities against one another, which is illegal.
so that SoFi
Yeah, but your
Stadium.
commissioner is all over it too. Jerry Jones was all about
Yes,
moving
because
them.
they were all
I mean,
in it.
it's a,
yeah,
it's
Jerry
a-
Jones is a billionaire
It's
investor.
a pride.
That's why.
Okay, this is going over a lot of. This is in the weeds. Tabitha looks like she's glossed over here.
She's
she
walked
has
in
no
like
idea
that.
what the hell we're talking about, and
Well,
I don't
I don't
blame
know
you.
anything
I don't
about
blame you.
Just think of them as companies. We're talking about
Here,
companies.
Right.
here,
The
this
bottom line is this. This is a good story. I'm telling you, because St. Louis at this juncture looks like they're going to get a huge settlement for the illegal, dirty, gray behavior that the NFL did and Stan Kroenke led, regardless of what
Yeah.
St. Louis did at the beginning, which I do not agree with. But you've got to follow the rules. You've got to follow the law. And the NFL has been sticking it to cities for quite some time, playing both sides, which was gray. Now, all of a sudden, they got caught. Or this one, and if you know anything about law, Eric, you would know that there's no way in hell this would even still be around with the lawyers and all the money that the NFL has unless there was wrongdoing.
Sure.
And that's why I'm just saying, don't be surprised if we have some good news coming before the end of September on a major settlement
Here's
for
some
St.
good
Louis,
news.
where the NFL admits wrongdoing and settles out of court because they don't want the world to see what they did behind closed
And guess
doors.
what?
But it's going to be
And
worth
guess
it to
what?
them in the long run.
It doesn't matter.
It
Here's-
would be.
here's-
You're
It'll be
right.
worth it to them in the
Guess
long
what?
run to write the check and
Guess
say,
what?
go away.
Yes.
Guess what? The NFL, if you go through this rigmarole and destroy a bank account in the NFL or in the St. Louis, at the Rams now, the NFL will never come back to St. Louis, Missouri, a city that really
They're
deserves to
not
have
coming back anyway.
The NFL deserves
Duh.
St. Louis, Missouri deserves to have an NFL team on paper. They do. They're the, what are they, 24th in the market as far as
But
revenue
Eric,
goes.
you're missing the
They're
point.
in the same state as Kansas City, Missouri. It's another big city here. We've had NFL teams in this state, in the city
I'm going to
before.
tell you right now, most of St. Louis, I bet if you did a poll, over 50% of people would say we don't want an NFL team.
Why would you ever say
Because
that? With
I'm not saying that
with
it's
your-
my. I'd rather have an NFL team.
You're getting excited about a soccer team, but you don't want an
You're
NFL
talking about
team?
St. Louis.
Yeah, who
St.
cares?
Yeah.
Okay,
Eric-
I can't have this
Eric,
conversation.
you grew up in Eric.
You guys are fighting about asparagus as far as I'm concerned because makes no sense to me. This is the NFL
Eric,
we're talking
this is
about.
St. Louis. I would rather have an NFL team, but I'm telling you right now, many big-time city leaders do not want NFL. They're happy
Why?
about soccer because of what has happened. We had 2 teams that left.
Yeah. Why get attached to something you know is going to go away?
You know why
no
that
other
is?
city
Do you
is
know
like
why that is?
Mommy, don't bring
Here's
home
why
another
that
man
is.
that I
Here's
will
why
like.
that is.
No one
because
was even going to the football games.
here's why that is. Because
That's
the
not
big,
true.
The big,
That's not true.
Here's
Not
why
true
it
at
is.
all.
When I went, there was
Let me tell you
nobody
why.
there.
After we knew that, that there
hold
was
on.
going to be gone.
Hold on, hold
yeah.
on.
I
Here's why
worked
it is.
right by the stadium, and there was every Sunday was packed.
Okay, fine.
Always.
Here's why it was. So let's look at Bud Bidwell first. He's playing football games in a multi-purpose
Bidwell.
Bill Bidwell in a multi-purpose stadium. Basically, the Cardinals play. They have dirt in the infield. They turn it into a football stadium. Phoenix, Arizona says, we'll build you one that's a football stadium that's cutting edge, and it's amazing. St. Louis never said that to the Cardinals, so they moved. That one was a little bit easier to swallow. Now the Rams.
Bill Bidwell did everything he could to keep the team here.
Yes, he did. He sure did. And St. Louis still balked at it. Now, all of a sudden.
That was all done legally, above board,
Yes.
and everybody knew, and St. Louis didn't go through the rigmarole and spending the millions and millions and millions of dollars when there's already text messages and emails. We're already leaving.
Yes.
I've already bought the property. But, we're still interested in here.
I get it.
Keep bringing us, keep spending $100 million and trying to make us believe with companies that I still own.
Yeah. I get it. I'm with you, man.
Okay.
I'm with you. But what I'm saying is now you have the Rams come here.
I'd rather have the team than not, but a team's not coming to St.
Now
Louis.
We're going to get an NBA team before we ever get an NFL team.
Bingo.
You guys don't understand something. And it is true. I did live in Seattle, Washington. I lived in Seattle, Washington when they had the Kingdome, and they imploded the Kingdome, and they built
Here
up
we go again.
But it is a case study.
It has
Kingdome
nothing
was
to do
blown
with
up.
what the Rams did to St. Louis.
It is everything to do with what the St. Louis City did to the Rams.
He had
That's
no
what I'm talking about.
intention of
Yes, it
keeping.
does.
He had no intention of keeping the Rams here. None.
Yes, he
Ever.
did.
You even
No, he
said,
didn't.
I
Yes,
have an
he did.
opportunity to go to the major
Number
market
one.
number
Yes.
one or number two.
Yes.
Kroenke had no intention of staying here.
If Kroenke was presented with an amazing opportunity for a brand new stadium where he could have owned he didn't know about LA at the time, but it was like, we are going to build a major stadium with an amazing partnership. The city of Seattle helped what's his name? Paul Allen build a $350 million stadium. That's chump change now.
Right.
That's chump
$4
change.
billion for
It's one of
SoFi
It's
now.
one of the best stadiums in the NFL. The economic development that came from that, Vic, was insanity.
That's
But
not
isn't the
what we're
dome in
talking
disrepair
about.
now?
No, it's not in
You mean
disrepair.
downtown?
Yeah. Somebody told me that.
Westfield? No.
Somebody told me that it's in.
No, she's talking
disrepair.
about St. Louis.
I'm talking about St. Louis.
Oh, it's a multi-purpose room. It's basically
it's
like
not NFL stadium ready.
It basically do truck.
The
shows
boat
right
show.
now. Yeah.
The boat
Eric,
shows.
but
right.
Eric, you're missing the point. Nobody disagrees with that. It's what was done after the fact. After St. Louis did not meet what Stan Kroenke wanted. All right, that's what it was. Stan Kroenke was not honest. He did not. His people were not honest. They should have said, yes, we're leaving from the get-go. Don't go through everything that you're trying to do. And they didn't. They were planning.
No doubt.
And then he dropped a bomb on the way out the door too.
But in the beginning, in
the
beginning, there was.
But in the beginning has nothing to do with what you do illegally.
What happened
in the
later?
end.
Oh yeah, I get it. You're right. I don't know how they cook the books. I don't get it. I don't. There's the lease thing with the stadium, and I'm sure they're going to have to pay.
I
that
just think
lease
there's
off.
gonna. I just think there's gonna be a major settlement coming, and St. Louis would have more money. All I said is just
But
be
what's
ready.
going to happen to it?
Don't be surprised.
They're
And
going to
that's what
invest
else
in
I brought.
soccer.
Some of the PSL. So the PSL owners will get something out of it, but generally it goes back to the city and like the lease agreements and stuff.
And all of the money that was spent in trying to say, hey, we have a team here. Let's try to build this, and all the efforts that were for naught when it was already said and in writing that they weren't going to stay.
If you
anyway.
are a major city, one of your biggest amenities is the NFL.
The NFL's as dirty and nasty as they come. They are.
And it goes
Do
back
I
to
like
being
the
the
product?
old boys club.
Yes, but it is a dirty, nasty.
No doubt. Welcome to the
organization.
real
Tailgating
world.
was fun.
It
Tabitha
was.
Hassell.
It
You
was.
can tailgate the soccer games now.
Those were fun days.
If you go to Kansas City and tailgate, it is an all-day experience. You have a great venue. You have a venue that you can bring concerts into. It's not just about the NFL. It's about what happens around that stadium.
I agree. But usually Sundays is my day of rest, so I never really made my way out anyway on Sundays. But I would once in a great while go up and meet some of my friends. One of my friend Shelly is a diehard Rams fan, and as she is Chiefs, and we would go up there and tailgate, and it would be a lot of fun. We'd get to meet a lot of people. But in the occasions that I went, and we actually went to the game, to me it was so commercialized. I didn't like it at all. We have to stop for commercials. I mean, none of it makes any sense.
Oh, Tabitha!
Cardinals are playing well.
Back to COVID.
And I think we're going to get a good settlement. As good as I started
So they
this
don't stop for commercials?
over 10 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, Vic. I'm pissed about the whole thing. I am. And it's just going to go
It's
to corrupt hands
there's
anyway.
Good news. That was the second point I brought up. But where would the money go?
I mean, how much must it cost to blow up the stadium down there? Maybe they can use that money for that.
Put it on pay-per-view and make the money back.
From Kevin Joseph, use that money to lower our business taxes. Yeah, that's a great point. Get more businesses in St. Louis, hire more police. Okay, I get it. Totally understand. All right.
Now I'm frustrated.
Why?
Because my whole outdoor football experience now is consolidated in the local area down to Lindenwood College.
Yeah, well, imagine being a young kid growing up in St. Louis the last 5 years and not getting to have your own NFL team in a major city. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And that sucks too. And
When I
that's what
first
had
moved
to go
down
through.
here is like a couple years. What year did the Cardinals leave?
84, 85, 83 in the early 80s because that's when I lost my football team.
Yeah, I came
My
down
first
in
football
like
game was at St.
91.
Louis Football Cardinals.
I came down in 91, but of course, at least I still had my team, and I would always get into
every
arguments.
major city should have an NFL team and an Emo's Pizza. That's all I can say. And then after that, it's
Football
whatever.
is boring. We need soccer is much more fun. It's
Yeah,
more
'cause
of a
it's so
crowd
high
sport.
scoring and fun.
It's more
Oh
of
my
a party.
God.
It's
Who
no,
wants to
that's
sit around watching a bunch of guys
soccer is
throw
When's the
cross-country.
last time you went to a
I can't
professional
take this show
soccer
today.
game?
soccer is cross country with a ball.
Back when they played up here at the old arena.
Soccer
No,
is
that is
cross
not-
country with a ball.
That's
They
not
played soccer there.
that is indoor soccer. That's a different thing.
Yeah,
altogether.
that's like hockey.
It
that's
was
like
still
hockey without
soccer. They
ice.
were still kicking a ball around the room.
Slobo Ilieski was not a outdoor professional.
I'm glad you remember Slobo.
Tabitha Hassell, ladies and gentlemen, she'll be giving a tutorial in all sports
Oh my
history.
God.
We're not ESPN. I'm all right.
Ava's
I don't
good.
need to know sports.
Look, this is
And-
supposed to be a civics discussion, by the way, about the St. Louis Rams moving to Los Angeles and how I actually stick up for Kroenke on this one. I think the St. Louis management,
But you're
for
not
lack of a
sticking
better
up for
word.
Kroenke. You started that way, then you came around.
I didn't say he didn't do anything illegal. I said that they had collusion in the biggest cartel on the planet, the
Which is
NFL.
that's exactly the point. He screwed up. He didn't do the right
That's
thing.
right.
It's illegal what he
Hey,
did.
I got something we can all agree on.
No doubt about that.
When we come
He's
back,
gone now.
When we come
He's got
back,
a great stadium in L.A.
$4 billion.
look at what's going on. And he's got a great quarterback, Matthew Stafford from the Lions.
I
And look
came
out for
around
the-
to Stafford,
look-
yes.
And look out for the Rams, unfortunately. Okay.
Poor Jared.
Are you playing Angels and Airwaves? Are you starting up some of it? Okay. I'll talk slower. No. No. Here we go. When we come back, something we can all agree on. Guys, there is a hardcore liberal Democratic governor who says, no vaccine passports in my state, no masking enforcement in my
Good
state.
for him. Common sense prevails.
Or her. You shouldn't be so
Oh,
quick to
her.
decide sex, Tabitha.
Mhm.
Of all people, you're on drugs. You're looking at me like,
I'm not. I took a little ivermectin this morning. I have not.
And the Brazilian
Fine.
president called us Marxists. Did you see that?
no, but I'm not surprised.
The Brazilian, when de Blasio said, you don't even bother coming to New York if you're not vaccinated, he said, I don't know what happened, but you guys are turning into Marxist country all of a sudden.
It's happening all over. Just wait till you hear which governor it was that did this.
I can't wait.
And then you see what's happening throughout the state of Missouri. Make you wonder. That's for sure. You're listening to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Brendan Shanahan for Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll take your phone calls as well. 636-695-2915. You can also catch us on ViperRocks.com. Back with more right after this.
The Edge Morning Show.
Start with everyone with a brand new puppy they cannot leave home alone. And there he is now, disemboweling a sofa. Now narrow it to the puppy parents who need to get their prescriptions refilled today. For you, there's Walgreens same-day prescription delivery. Medication sent right to your door from the local Walgreens you already know and trust. So you can spend all day at home teaching your new puppy some manners. Elroy, roll over. Or just sit there and tilt your head. Oh. To join, text JOIN-RX to 21525.
I said chantilly lace and eggshell, not matte.
Colby's interior design consultancy is floored with new clients.
Wait, what am I looking at here? This looks like plaid.
They need an admin with an eye for design and a knack for numbers.
Okay, hey, look, take a look at this. Do those numbers look right?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Screen for quality candidates with the skills your role needs with Indeed assessments. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get your color your way. We've made it easier than ever to try and buy color. Preview paint colors in your home with our Color Snap app. Then visit swsamples.com to have color chips delivered to your door for free. Or order some peel and stick samples to try on your wall. When you're ready to paint, shop online or stop by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store and get everything you need.
Here's a message for Quiver River Electric members. Vote now in your annual Board of Directors election through August 23rd. Members may vote online, by paper ballot, or at the annual meeting on August 26th. If you vote, you are automatically entered into a drawing for free electricity prizes. Learn more about the voting process, the bylaw proposition on the ballot, and board candidates at quiver.com or call 1-800-392-3709.
John Lang here, owner of Mountaintop Motor Company. I was 25 when I started my company with 5 cars, and I knew one thing for sure, that I wasn't going to be like other car dealers. I had a clear intention to be truthful and honest with everyone, and that I would treat people the way I wanted to be treated. I would offer an excellent product at a great price. I wanted something I could stand behind and be proud of, in a place that made people feel comfortable and at ease. I absolutely wanted to aim higher.
Hey listeners, it's Steve here at the radio station, and you should check out Mountaintop Motor Company, one of the area's coolest dealerships. It's like Western Lodge meets Midwest. Canoes from the ceiling, free beer, and friendly staff. The staff is laid back, not pushy at all, and they're knowledgeable. Mountaintop gets most of their trucks from out of state, so a lot are rust-free. They have lots of diesel trucks, custom trucks, work trucks, and just really clean trucks. They've got 1,000 5-star reviews. Now, these guys know how to make people happy. MountaintopMotors.com and on Facebook and Instagram.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. What do millions of Vuse Alto consumers know? Well, they know that all Vuse Alto liquids are blended in the USA, with pods sold in tamper-evident packaging, and that Vuse vapor products are available at reputable retailers. And now, you do too. Get to know Vuse Alto at Vuse.com and get it in store. Vuse, charge beyond. Underage sale prohibited. Website restricted to age 21 and over tobacco consumers.
Do you want to work for the biggest medical cannabis company in the state of Missouri? B-Leaf Medical is looking for dynamic individuals to join our newest facility in Jonesburg. We are currently hiring for cultivation techs and offer 100% company-paid benefits that include medical, dental, and vision, as well as a starting pay rate of $15 per hour. If you're ready to join a great company that offers great pay and great benefits, visit our website at beleafmedical.com. BELEAF medical.com.
Keep your resolution to quit cigarettes this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon. I Quit Vapor carries the salt nicotine systems, their latest juice flavors, and all of their pod systems. Let their staff explain why the salt nicotine system is so effective in helping you to quit cigarettes for good. It has a much smoother delivery and allows you to adjust the amount of nicotine intake. I Quit Vapor is still your one-stop shop for everything vapor. Keep your quit cigarette resolution this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon. Puff bars and disposables now available.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For indifferent customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. You are 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time you refreshed your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
God dang.
You know what that sound is, Eric, don't you?
It's the sound of happiness.
Thank you. It's not Blink 182.
No,
but
that's,
it's
Green
kind of
Day.
and Bing. Oh yes.
No, I know all these hack bands. I'm not like Tabitha. How do you go to a band and mosh happily? How do you go to a concert and have a mosh pit and you're happy about it? I don't know.
I did it once. And I had a blast.
Have you not been in a mosh pit?
You just got to be bigger, stronger, and badder.
I know, but you're smiling. As you're doing
Tabitha, compare it to a key party of the 70s. That's a mosh pit.
Rod, I vote for pro lacrosse. I love lacrosse, but come on.
Pro lacrosse.
I hope that was a joke.
It's a thing.
I love lacrosse. My son plays it. I travel all across the country.
Oh, my God. I can't take it. Pro ping pong coming to St. Louis, Missouri.
Woo!
Professional frisbee is supposed to be coming.
Don't
the ultimate disc.
There you go.
Don't miss the Hammer Throw Stadium.
Hey, by the way, tomorrow at 9:30, we've got St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman coming in to defend himself after what Bob Onder said yesterday. Pretty much, and he did, correct me if I'm wrong, it seemed as if Senator Bob Onder yesterday said that the reason Fort Zumwalt put a mask mandate in place was because of Steve Ellman.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what he said?
Well, where's the buck stop? And it stops with Steve Ellman. And if your subordinate is the health department, you say, "Hey, health department, let's have a little meeting and let's close the door." Okay. Tell me about this mask mandate. Yes. Show me the data. Oh, you have no data? Okay, there is no mask mandate. Steve Ellman needed to say that clearly, forcefully at that county.
Why? When no other county executive is, they're all leaving it up to the school board. So
Ellman,
why would he
we
be
have
different?
given Ellman praise for how he's handled St. Charles. And now the liberal school boards, the liberal health
Hey,
department.
guess what? Those people in the school board were elected. They were
Oh, no
elected
doubt.
to be in that
No
position.
doubt.
They were elected to make these decisions. So why should
But
Steve
some
Ellman
elected before
overrule
this
them?
COVID situation came
No
through and how
question.
people knew situation.
And of course,
But there are people on both sides of the
You're
fence.
right.
Just remember.
You're right, but Steve
Maybe
should.
they need to take a
Steve
vote.
and Vic is about to blow your mind here in a second. But Steve should have said this.
Don't
I need
miss this.
I need data that proves once and for all that these masks help these kids, and it's not abusive to them. And the health department should have walked in there with their PowerPoint presentation and overwhelmed Steve Ellman with this PowerPoint that says, if you don't put masks on kids, this is what's going to happen. I guarantee you Steve Ellman never saw that presentation because it doesn't exist. So Steve should have said, well, here's the deal. This is St. Charles. This isn't St. Louis. We're going to have no mask mandates.
I'm just asking it. Why would I guess I don't understand the reasoning that he would do that
And
because
good question.
it's not happening anywhere.
We'll find
else.
out tomorrow.
We'll find out tomorrow
Yes.
at 9:30. Okay. Speaking of mask,
I feel like a drum roll.
Vaccinations, vaccination passports. As we went to break, I said there is a liberal Democratic governor who has now come out and said no mask, no vaccine, no
passports,
vaccine passports, no mandates in that state. Tabitha immediately goes, well, I can't wait to hear who he is.
Oh yes,
He.
And I said that
So
for a
you
reason.
immediately said a man, not
I
giving
did say
your
a man.
own race credit.
because I know who the women governors are in this country.
Well, but once again, but you also know who the Democratic governors are.
Absolutely.
So this blew my mind, and I think it's going to blow your guys. But here we go. Democratic Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the state legislature have agreed on a budget proposal that includes language. Here we go, guys. Which bans any health officials from enforcing mask mandates in schools and preventing state public agencies from enforcing vaccines on employees or customers.
Yes.
I am shocked.
The language can mean that health officials' mask mandates for kindergarten to 12th grade students in areas such as Oakland County, where I lived, it's huge. Wayne County, which is where Detroit is, could be null and void. Instead, mask mandates will now, and here's where the gray area gets into effect, but if you have the state legislature, you have state law now, kind of like HB 271, then it could go down to school boards and districts.
She just boxed herself out. She just said, I've given up. she's a dead man walking. She knows it. There's elections coming up. She knows that she has to get on the right side of this immediately.
She's going to sign the bill in time for the October 1st deadline, which will be in the next week and a half.
Oh, yeah. This is like Drew Collins coming on and saying, Eric, everything I've said was wrong and you were right. That would never happen.
I'm not sure about that.
No, it's exactly the same thing.
There's still a small chance the school boards could do with what they want. We've seen what school boards have done. But at the state level, she has now signed that.
I am shocked because when you said that,
She
I
just
was
went ahead
running
of
through my
Parsons,
head.
didn't she? I mean,
She did
Parsons
what?
hasn't even done anything like that.
No,
I mean,
no,
that's
she really
kind
hasn't.
of the same thing, but
No, I think it's fair to say there would be more.
She out-red stated our red state.
No.
Kind of. But now Parson did say he will not allow companies to force vaccine cards.
This is beyond a strongly worded letter. This is a piece of legislation that the queen of shutdown is now implemented. This is literally earth-shaking.
It makes me wonder why.
Well, there were large protests last year in Lansing, people with rifles.
Yeah.
Well,
and
there was
long
that.
guns. They went into the state capitol building. They did more in Lansing last year than what happened at the January 6th deal because they actually took weapons inside the State House, and we all know no weapons were in the White House, or excuse me, not the White House, but the Capitol.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
This budget she signed comes after she was facing, as Eric talks about, harsh criticisms for her handling of the pandemic last year, including enacting some of the strictest lockdown orders in the country. Remember, her husband, who owns a boat, also tried to jump line at the beginning of COVID to get his boat out on the lake in front of others and said,
yes,
pulled the card, do you know who I am? I'm the husband of Governor. You know, so, and she was also starting to pull lower because of former police chief James Craig, who said he didn't care what he had to run as to become governor. He would run as a Republican if he needed to get her out of office.
Yes, and
he is a strong, intelligent black man who came into the city of Detroit, took crime head on, got more police involved, hired more police. They attacked crime, became a much safer city. He is loved throughout the state, and arguably probably would be the favorite to win governor. So maybe Gretchen Whitmer is like, oh, okay, here we go. Maybe I need to change something.
How do you go into a debate? I mean, this guy is just going to eat her for lunch, for real, and then spit it out because it tastes so bad.
Probably, but there's a reason why she did this. Why would she break free from
I'm telling you,
all other
politics.
Democrat
It was
governors?
politics back then, and now it's politics.
Right.
It's two politics. You have the politics of the Bidens, of the Hillary
They
Clinton.
had to get the budget done. So
Well,
the
no.
This
She
was-
could have said, I'm not doing any of
They
this.
agreed on a budget proposal to get the budget done because the state Republicans were holding her feet to the fire.
So she's going to come in and claim that just to get the bills paid, I made it so that everyone is so unsafe. The masking and the vaccinating thing, that's not even important anymore. I had to keep the lights on. So that's how she's going to play this?
Quote, the director or local health officer shall not issue or enforce any orders or directives that require an individual in this state who is under the age of 18 to wear any face mask or face covering.
So she kowtowed to the. I don't understand this story, I guess, because I think it's amazing if it was on its face, if she was the one to say, I'm done with the masking, I'm done with the mandates, we're done, people. But it sounds more like she was held hostage by this appropriations type bill. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Now the $70 billion budget also prevents Michigan public agencies from enforcing vaccine mandates on any employees and customers, which is very strong.
Yeah, that basically is a 180 degree flip is what it is. And
She's just worried she's going to lose her job.
Well, Ron from
it's always about money and personal wealth with people.
From the Facebook line, which we do peruse all the time, Ron says it's because Biden has a 39% approval rating in Michigan. Ooh, if that doesn't put your hackles up on the back of your neck, then nothing will.
As they should. Good for the people of Michigan. They get to live in a state with some common sense for
Well,
once.
Eric brought it up earlier, though. It's not just Michigan. All polling right now, including the latest straw poll, has President Biden I mean, tanking.
Yes.
Tanking
Yeah.
like an anchor in the sea.
obviously.
I mean, and it
But I
is-
meant good for
and
Michigan
it is
that they-
going fast.
And think about
Right.
this, Vic. We talked earlier with Jane about the trend lines. How you don't pull up. If you don't start pulling up, you could have an approval rating down in the 20s from all the because everybody has an issue that pisses them off. Some people's issue is COVID. Some people's issue is the border. Some people's issue is the inflation, and that's a big one. The inflation.
But Eric, if the polling says 39%, that means it's probably like 15%.
No, I don't know.
They're
No,
probably-
you got to look at it at face
They're
value.
probably trying to give them a little bit of credit.
Maybe.
I don't believe pollings whether they favor what I want or whether they don't. Polling it is all based on who you call, when you call them, if they're truthful, and et cetera.
And maybe what you're seeing, and I heard you on the beginning of the show talking about CNN. Maybe CNN is starting to go. It's time to.
It was all
it's time.
part of the game plan. It was never meant for Biden to be in that office his entire term.
Yeah, and
Harris has always been waiting in the wings. This is all part of the game plan. Don't fall for the propaganda. They planned this from day one to make Biden. Eventually, his incompetence was going to have to be addressed. And eventually, people were going to have to start coming out against him
what? I was
because that's
thinking-
how Harris moves up into her
Well,
role.
Harris is insignificant too because she still polls it like in the 30s.
But she's not. But Eric, she's not insignificant. Why do you say she's insignificant?
She's insignificant because I'm looking at the election pass. They're already in there. They're not going anywhere for the next 3 years. They're still there. But I think it's insignificant because if they try to run her as a president,
Nobody said
she's
anything
gonna,
about running her as a
well,
president.
something's going to happen in the next 3 years.
No, wait, you're talking about two different things again. What Tabitha is saying is her taking over before those 3 years.
Yeah, but who cares? It's still going to be the same agenda.
All right.
It's going to be
It's
a
still
worse,
gonna be
it's
the
gonna
same
be a worse
agenda.
agenda. It's going to be a more Marxist agenda under Harris because it's a new person. See, Biden, they try to play it like, oh, he's not a socialist. He's not a Marxist. You know, he's just catering to these other people.
So what you see with the Gretchen Whitmers of the world is she's trying to save her own skin right now. The party's not going to be there to save her. What Gretchen Whitmer's doing is like, it's like what Sam Page should be doing right now, to be honest with you. Sam Page should be going, I think we fixed the problem.
Actually, it's amping up. Last night at the county council meeting, there was no, quote, new resolution for a mask mandate, but Dr. Faisal Khan showed back up asking to reintroduce a new mask mandate. Again, this is, at this point in time, I don't understand. I'd like somebody to tell me.
Because that's the strategy. Just keep persistence. Boom, boom, boom.
But why right now, where we are, why do that now unless it's, I mean, are there health benefits? What are the health benefits if you can't just say public health officials say it helps. Where are they? Or is it still about an ego thing because he was beat? I don't know.
Is there a way that
But you have to ask the question.
Can Fitch introduce something that says, unless you bring us data of these masks,
They have.
you can't
He
bring
told
this
us
up
on the
anymore?
show.
I know, but
there is no data.
He's already said on the show several times.
how many minutes of time does Faisal Khan get to distract the board when we have so many problems in St. Louis County,
Eric-
such as economic development, such as potholes, such as electricity?
If there was data, none of this would have ever happened because they would have presented the data and people would have been like, oh, okay, maybe that's true.
So just to
No
remind you
data.
that it was reintroduced, nothing was brought up, no motion filed, but all of a sudden Khan shows back up out of nowhere,
Dun, dun, dun.
wanting
Khan.
to do the face mask mandate.
It's like a bad Star Trek episode.
From the Facebook line, Drew Collins says because winter's coming, but
So?
then, but now national headlines and even CDC, and here's where you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say that flu does not exist when you're not testing for flu.
Yeah.
And you're automatically saying that, oh, no, there's no flu. But then now the latest stories that we've said from the CDC 2 weeks ago, oh, it's going to be a bad season for flu. Now we're told, oh, flu's back now. So then we don't have the new testing yet, which doesn't come through until the first of the year. So you've got to go through the rest of September, October, November, December, before there's even the possibility of having new testing. And the whole goal there is to decipher between flu and COVID, which there's no guarantee. And we're not even talking about RSV, which we've talked about here. So once again, you could have flu cases that are being diagnosed as COVID cases, and it's not real.
Yeah, if they're not testing specifically, like right now,
But you have
could
to get
test.
people to talk about that.
Right.
Talk about facts. Talk about what's actually going on. Not, oh, well, this is 2020 and it's COVID.
Not everything is COVID.
I
No,
would
this
like
is
to
prime
ask. I would
allergy
like to
season.
ask Drew and whoever believes in masks. Such a great point I'm about to bring up. So listen carefully. The NFL, college football has had overwhelmingly packed stadiums for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks preseason. There is no outbreak of COVID anywhere. They're looking for it. You don't think that Fauci's out there looking for COVID?
That's because we've reached herd
explosions?
immunity already.
Fantastic, Tabitha. Keep that thought. Where in the hell is the science behind COVID not blowing up in Lansing, Michigan, in Mizzou, down in Columbia, in Florida, in UCLA?
I can answer that for
in
you.
any indoor stadium in the NFL. Where are the outbreaks of COVID? There's no mask. I'll tell you that right now. So if masks work, and they don't, why are there no COVID outbreaks?
We've already reached herd immunity.
Oh, that's a good answer.
And the reason why they won't tell us we've reached herd immunity is because they refuse to count the people with natural antibodies. If they went and polled everybody or brought everybody in and gave every single person in this country an antibody test if they weren't vaccinated, guess what? I will bet you anything over 60% of the population in any community either has natural antibodies or they've been vaccinated. We've reached herd immunity where I don't think we're going to see these big super spreader events.
Tabitha. That's a good answer.
But
They refuse to
That's a
do
good
it because
answer.
they don't want to admit
Herd
that we've
immunity.
reached
Well,
herd
we
immunity.
haven't had a super spreader event in quite some time.
Exactly.
Never.
Including
Where have we?
including, mark my words, you will not see one from the Emmys either.
Right,
Or-
exactly.
Oh, my,
Where
I forgot about that one.
Where
That-
nobody was masked.
That's an easy
this
one to
last
track,
week.
isn't it?
Yeah, of course it would be.
It's hard to track 100,000 people, but hey, a couple hundred, we should know exactly who got COVID on the Emmy night.
It certainly makes you think. Once again, I don't mean this disrespectfully in any way, but as humans in our society, we just kind of follow the story around. Once again, the shiny toy, the ball. You're like the cat chasing the ball around. And then sometimes you have to just check yourself and go, wait a second. Stop chasing it. Let's look all around. Let's do a full circle. Take a deep breath and go, okay, let's remember what we've been told from the start
Yes.
when it comes to COVID. Let's remember all these ups and downs and circles and what was real, what wasn't, where we're at now. Because here's the thing. First, okay, you got to get away from each other. Then masks are going to save the day.
Yep.
Then vaccines are going to say, oh, we were wrong. Now you've got to get mask and
Don't
vaccine.
forget the hand sanitizer.
Oh, now it's people. Now you can spread. You can get COVID even with the vaccine, but that's all right. Oh, now you can even spread COVID if you have the vaccine. Oh, now you need to wear a mask even though you're fully vaccinated. So this is when I started to get pissed.
It just continues.
No. Then, now we need boosters. Okay, do you see where I'm going with
It's
this?
the 30 steps to
Don't
communism.
lose sight of where we've been from the start. And then the excuse is, well, we're just learning. We're learning. We just got to continue to trust and learn. Okay, if that's
Or
what you want to do,
the
but just keep in mind where we've been and where we're going.
The creme de la creme, and this is where you should say, this is politics. Oh, damn, this is How about a foreign national coming back into the United States having to give a COVID test and a vaccination paperwork, and now 15 to 45,000 Haitians just walking across the border with no testing whatsoever.
That's the worst part about all of this.
That's when you start
and
to
the
go.
excuse from Jen Psaki, as we said earlier. Oh well, the people at the border, they're not planning on staying long. That was the quote.
They're here for the weekend.
They're not
They're
planning.
going to the Lake of the Ozarks.
They're not planning. Jen Psaki said, our press secretary. I'm not giving an opinion.
Which
I'm
makes
giving facts.
zero
She
sense.
said they're not planning on staying long.
I mean, did they come all this way just to take a look across the border and leave?
I would just love to hear from people anytime, anywhere who agree with what Jen Psaki said.
Nobody does. They're all here to see a PRL show. They're going right
well,
back.
she's the mouthpiece of the president, so she's saying what the president would say, and
She
what
ad-libbed that line.
and what Kamala
She
Harris
ad-libbed
would
that.
say.
She ad-libbed that.
Well,
There's
then,
no
if
way it
it's
was
not
written
the
down in
administration's thoughts, she would be fired, or she would come out and say, "I misspoke." So she is representing Kamala Harris and Joe Biden when she says that.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
where
a press
is
secretary
Kamala?
does.
You know
I
what?
know the job.
Who was it on the show that said these people are put in there to serve? Was that you, Vic, that said that they're here to put
Yes.
you here to serve, and you're not serving anybody but yourselves.
Politics is service.
Yes, it is. That was the best line of the day right there. Because I don't know of any politician that thinks it's adequate to not get in front of a podium and take direct questions and say, all right, let me tell you what we're doing here, people. These people are shady as hell, man. They are damn shady. The fact of the matter is, you have the Kamala Harrises, you have the Joe Bidens, you have all the people behind the scenes, which we don't even know. We can speculate on. You have the Millies of the world, but worse. And it was said to somebody, said, even though Greg Gutfeld has the #1 show at night, and I think it's starting to trend that way, Vic.
He doesn't have the
I think
#1 show yet.
I don't
Eric.
know. I'm going to have to figure out
Eric,
what that all means.
it's not what it means.
I mean, as far as the talk shows.
He
as
does
far as the talk
not
shows.
have the #1 rated show at night right now.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out.
It's trending well.
Yes. So,
but it's not the #1 show.
But somebody made a point yesterday. Says even though that Fox News does all this amazing journalism work, the majority of the people in this country still listen to Channel 2, Channel 4, and Channel 5, the national news outlets. And that's where they get their news.
Well, because most people are only concerned with news in their own community, not necessarily national news.
No, national news. I mean, like
No,
the Lester
he meant-
Holtz, of the
he
world.
meant mainstream media.
Yeah, the Chuck Todds of the world, mainstream media. That's who they listen. They don't tune into Fox, even though Fox can get viewership of 11 million viewers a night. That's only 11 million viewers of the 350 million people in this country. So the word isn't getting out there. The drone footage of these Haitians isn't getting out there. But I'll tell you what is.
No, it's not.
The beating with a whip, which it wasn't, from a law enforcement officer of all these Haitians coming over. How do you think that plays
Well,
in
yeah, because
Poughkeepsie?
it depends on how censored certain things are.
Yeah, back with more after this. We got to take a quick break. Eric Johnson, Brendan Chinnan, Tabitha Hassell, and Vic Faust, Fox 2.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
Ah, there's no place like Panera, where a bite of the toasty, saucy Chipotle chicken avocado melt tastes like, focaccia. A cool and refreshing strawberry poppy seed salad al fresco is so sweet. And a cheesy Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza in your favorite booth feels just right. So treat yourself, because there's no place like Panera. Order on the app today. Restrictions apply. Visit PaneraBread.com.
It's Duckfest time again, a one-of-a-kind celebration of all things outdoors, focusing on waterfowl, hunting, and conservation. Plan to bring the family to enjoy food, drinks, duck calling contest, live music, a huge grand prize raffle, and lots of vendors. Gather the family and join in the fun. Saturday, October 2nd from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. at Lakeside 370 Park in St. Peters. For details, go to duckfestmo.org. Presented by Flynn Drilling and Cry Distributing. All proceeds go to Emmaus Homes and the JCs of St. Charles Charitable Foundation.
911, what's your emergency?
This car, an SUV, it was going across, it went around the barrier and the train. Oh God.
Ma'am, did a train hit an SUV? Is that what happened?
Yes, the train is still going. The train is going and the car, I can't believe it.
You can't judge the speed of an approaching train. That's why the signals are there. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey everyone, it's Brian Dawson with Brian Dawson Roofing and Construction. I'm here to remind you it's time for exterior work on your home, so call me. I deal and work with all insurance companies. I also do non-insurance work as well. I know it's your money and your castle. I want and will do what it takes to make you happy with whatever it is that you want done. Roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and if I don't do it, I know somebody who does. So call me, Brian Dawson.
At 636-465-9465 or visit BrianDawsonRoofing.com.
Hi, this is Eric Joya, sales manager at the all-new Travers Automotive and RV at I-70 and TR Hughes. I'm personally inviting you to come see our awesome selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Travers Automotive and RV has the largest inventory of lifted trucks and Jeep Wranglers in the market. Our new location also has RVs from Mesa Ridge and Open Range, and a huge selection of pre-owned as well. Come see me and my team at Travers Automotive and RV, I-70 at TR Hughes, TraversAutoandRV.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Erin Huey with Tomasino Gerst Vision Source. We provide a ton of specialty care: glaucoma, diabetic eye care, dry eye evaluations, now myopia management. Typically, we see patients that need vision correction for a variety of hobbies, for work, most often glasses and contacts. Come and see us at Tomasino Gerst Vision Source, dryoureyes.com, 272-1444. dryoureyes.com.
At Boost Mobile, we're giving you a free phone when you switch, and all the power that comes with it. The power to access everything humanity has to offer. The power to connect with anyone in the world. The power to order tacos. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A32 5G when you switch to America's largest 5G network. Information, communication, tacos. Now that's power. More power to save. Boost Mobile. Free phone limited to new customers and one per line. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
Are you a business owner looking for funding? Greenbox Capital is here to help by providing easy working capital loans in as little as 24 hours. Visit greenboxcapital.com/apply now to fill out a short form and get started today. With funding from $3,000 to $500,000, Greenbox Capital can help. Visit greenboxcapital.com/apply now to receive a special offer of 10% off cost of working capital. greenboxcapital.com/apply now and get business funding needed without stress from traditional lenders. greenboxcapital.com/apply now. Fast funding for small businesses.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, before we get out of here, I always think it's pretty interesting to go over some things. Eric found it on fox2now.com. Top public schools in the St. Louis area, districts by niche. Ladue number 1, Clayton 2, Kirkwood 3, Rockwood 4, Parkway 5, Brentwood 6, Webster Grove 7, Francis Howell 8, Pattonville 9, and Lindbergh Schools 10. That's state test scores, college readiness, graduation rates, SAT, ACT scores, teacher quality, public school district ratings, and more. There you go.
Nothing surprising there.
No, I mean, it's what it looked like last year. At least to me it did. Guys, we appreciate you joining us today for the show. We'll come back. We'll do it again tomorrow. Steve Ellman, 9:30 tomorrow. St. Charles County Executive. We'll talk to a bunch of topics there. If you have something, make sure you join us, and we'll see who else we might get. Have an awesome day, guys. Eric Johnson.
You as well.
Brendan Shanahan.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow, Brendan. We'll see where it all goes. Thanks again for joining us. I'll see you for Fox 2 News at 5 and 9. But you're up next, Brendan.
And Dan Bongino for some.
Have a great day.
KFNS FM, Troy, St. Charles, and the Westplex. 100.7 FM, The Viper. Legendary rock that we